It's no secret right now that Amber Heard was recently interviewed on the Today Show after taking several days off social media. Well, you'd think that after staying away for so long, she'd have a grand comeback. But it was the exact opposite, as some people are even calling it one of the worst they've seen in their lives. That's got to hurt at least a little. So, what is the story about Amber's interview and why did it turn out to be so bad? We all can't lie that when Amber stepped away from the media after the jury gave their verdict on the defamation suit, we didn't think it was because she was reflecting on how everything turned out. But unfortunately, we were all wrong about this one, as she has now shown us that not only does she not feel sorry about the whole thing and how it all turned out, but she's also still maintaining her theory that Johnny was the assaulter. This was the basis of her getting on the Today Show for an interview, and given that this was the case of the century, you'd think that Amber's appearance on the show would at least pull a lot of people to be part of it. But it was actually the opposite. And this has now become a major point of interest on social media, as several experts and media consultants are actually alarmed that after a case that had millions of people glued to their screens, Amber wasn't even able to get good ratings from her first interview. Heard's interview with NBC host Savannah Guthrie aired in full on Friday, June 17th. It came after a series of teasers on Today and on Peacock released earlier in the week, which saw Heard brand Depp a liar and double down on claims that he physically and sexually assaulted her during their relationship. The actress told the network that she has a binder full of therapists' notes to prove her accusations against the Pirates of the Caribbean star. She also claimed that the jury was possibly starstruck by her ex-husband, hinting that might be the reason he won the trial. Despite a slew of explosive claims made by Heard, NBC's Sit Down with the Aquaman star on Friday night only drew 2.3 million total viewers and a 0.2 demo rating, according to TV Line. The ratings were down 18% and 50% week to week to mark the network's second smallest audience since November and a season low in the demo. Now, if that isn't still clear, the point is that what was supposed to be Amber Heard's big comeback to Hollywood was one of the worst flops the network had seen in a while, and the absolute worst that has happened this year, and that's because no one is interested in hearing any more of Amber's lies. In fact, even the host of the show was occasionally shocked at some of the things Amber mentioned, and this was the case when the actress was asked about the controversial $7 million divorce settlement she claimed she had donated. And the reason this came up is because Depp's people actually played an interview on the last day of court where Amber had openly admitted to donating that money when Depp's lawyer had already proven that she in fact had not donated it. When asked for an explanation by Guthrie, Heard used a bizarre comparison. She responded saying, "I think when you say to someone, 'I bought a house,' are you lying? Because you have not paid for it in full at that point. I made a pledge, and that pledge is made over time in its nature." But the justification didn't go over well with the veteran journalist, and she made that clear by saying, "You're splitting hairs there a little, because you know when you say you've donated, that everybody thinks you have donated, not that you've pledged money." Of course, this is just one lie in a long list that she got caught up in during the interview, and is probably why nobody actually bothered to watch it. As is expected of a media appearance this major, several fans started to give their thoughts on how things turned out with the interview, starting with this user who wrote, "Watched via YouTubers. I couldn't finish watching it though. What a dull interview. There were last-minute changes which tried to make Turdy look good. MSM will learn who holds the power. If they don't start reporting with integrity, then this will be the start of their downfall." Another user who was annoyed by some of the statements Amber made also had a few words for her. They wrote, "Her saying average people has been one comment that is not only irritating but shows how special she thinks she is. Glad I'm not the only one that noticed. No one said much about it." The thing Amber doesn't seem to understand with all of this that is happening is that it'll be even more difficult for her to come out or the hole she has dug for herself professionally, because with those rating numbers, no company would be willing to advertise with anything related to her, which basically implies most likely zero movie appearances for her. I know we've been saying it for a while, but it'll actually take a real miracle to get her out of what she's put herself in and keep digging further. Did you also see how terrible the interview was, or do you think these people are exaggerating?